Hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable. Whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm touching the truck here.
All I ever do is work. I don't get no rest.
Man,
I
I got
know
some video
first
footage.
night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside.
Down in trouble one.
You just wouldn't believe how much rock in the truck is. Oh shit.
Oh, man, drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I
weather
swear the page goes live again.
coming in. Currently. I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries, but semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, and the trees beside me are completely sideways.
Friend uptown. Said that things were bad when he was feeling
Not sure what the
bad.
gusts are, but
I told
definitely,
him Thursday's on the
this
way.
is a tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts.
Marks where the page will be
I got the back turn right now, and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
All right, what is going on? 10 seconds to spare. You got 10 seconds to spare? I do. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. It is Thursday. We're all over the place lately. But hey, it's almost time to go daily. We'll be live tomorrow. And then all next week, we'll be back to rotating dogs again. We showed Louie 2 days ago, so today we'll show you little Hunter. You know, believe this little guy is 4 years old. He looks like a little puppy. 4? I think he's the smallest Frenchie. What's the smallest Frenchie on record? This one's only 9 pounds. Louie was small, and our vet told us when we got Louie to don't feed him too much the first 6 months because they'll get overweight, so I didn't feed him much at all. And then we got Hunter, and I'm like, I'm going to feed him a little less the first to see if that was why Louie was little, and he came out littler. So imagine that. If you don't eat much, you don't get big. I should learn from the dogs. Right. Good morning, everybody. All right, this is Mike from Mike's Favorite Page. It's our Daily Brew. Daily Brew brought to you by our great friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here in Florida. We're heading over to softball tomorrow after our Daily Brew tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow, and I'm going to be heading to Orlando, so we'll be stopping at our ABC, getting geared up for the weekend. We got a softball weekend. I might check out their new store in Winter Garden. Check it out. Whole new concept, new store. Big thanks for all that they do. We got some stories to tell coming up here. Let's get into that. Let me put the radar on here. I had it over here. I don't know. I had all my buttons up somewhere. I'm going to leave them. I don't want to mess anything up right now. We'll just leave it up right there. So, but yeah, we're going to talk weather. I've had a crazy couple days. We were in Laura, I know, right? This is 4 years old. It's in Oklahoma yesterday. I can't wait to get the pictures. Did a presentation with OSR and Tammy Kent, and it was massive. We were in a ballroom at a casino resort in Norman, Oklahoma. Huge set, probably my largest stage ever. It was wild, so I can't wait to show you that. pictures of that. That was yesterday. But I'm back home. We were storm chasing. Did you see it? It was in something. Let's say hello for a few minutes. We kind of ramble on. So I am, if you're new to the page, we do this. We usually chat about an hour. So be patient. I do quicker little videos. I'm going to start putting out more. So let's start looking for those. Not too much brewing. Bottom line, we talked about the tropics next week. Nothing's really showing up solid. I did make a post last night. It's something I see every year, and I'm kind of guilty of it too, so I backed off of it. It seems like the first possible tropical system of the year gets a bazillion posts. Like, everybody goes crazy posting about the possible first tropical system of the year, including me. I don't know if it's like a little, you can't say excitement, but you just can't help it. And then I always say at the end of the year, we might have a tropical storm down in the Caribbean. It doesn't even get a mention. Like, people by the end of the season are completely bored, turned off, hurricane hangover. So it's kind of amazing how the first system of the season gets so much hype, and it's probably nothing. And the end of the year, the same system would get Zippo, like not even nothing on the last page of the newspaper. If there are newspapers anymore. Oh, so Gloria from Alabama. Shelly mentioning our cruise. All right, there's our link for our cruise. Listen, we're getting full. We already sold out of some inside cabins. Check it out. 4th annual MWP cruise coming up. Shelly just put the link on there. Brand new ship. Come have fun with us. We have a great time. Brian from Braden, Kentucky. What does that mean? I'm from Braden. Is there a place called Braden, Kentucky? John Yukabowski, good morning. What's up? Renee, I probably butchered that name up. Richard Reamer, what's up? Good morning. Richard says hello, Hunter. Melba Walls, good morning. What's up there, Mr. Isaac Taylor? Mrs. Jefferson, good morning. David Lewis in Tennessee. Katie's going to be on the Utopia. Don't spoil the fun for us. Tell us all about it. River Ranch is burning. No, I did not see that. Micah Rose. Holy moly, no. That's what, around the Lake Wales area? Is that the rodeo place next to Resort of Canopy Oaks? I'll have to look at that. Ashton Silva's, good morning. Tracy, good morning. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Burning bad. Oh my God, I'll have to look at that. I got a map here we'll look at. For sure. All right, let's open up a few things. What's up, Cindy? Good morning. What's going on? Let's see if I got anything exciting to show you. Well, first off, I was bored in the airport, so I was saving to do this one a long time ago. But finally put this one together. We'll just say goodbye to Hunter now. We'll get right into weather. Say bye-bye, buddy. Look over here. So that, we all seen the taco sign. So what better way to do it than with some beer? So I put this together, went over and saw my friends over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company, Major and Cassidy, and they put together some ingredients for me, and it went viral. So instead of the tacos, if you want to know the difference between a watch and a warning, a watch means you have the ingredients, means everything's in place, meaning like tornado watch could happen, and the warning is actually it does appear to be happening. You have the beer. So anyway, hopefully that made sense. I did that. I think I did it in the Atlanta airport yesterday. Crazy, right? All right, so I was in Oklahoma 2 days ago, and we had an enhanced weather risk. Did a little storm chasing. Got some pretty good footage. We didn't see, or me, I was the only one, didn't see any tornadoes. A lot of wind. Oh my God, the wind's incredible. Straight line winds. Wasn't as bad, I don't think, as they expected, but that's where I was at. But I got to tell you a funny story. Went to Walmart. I decided when I got my rental, when I saw the enhanced thing, first thing I did, I saw Reed Timber post on X about they upped the tornado chances. And I was like, I'm going to turn my rental into a storm chaser. So I usually bring a 12-volt inverter, but I didn't. So I had to stop at Walmart, and I got a 12-volt inverter so I could plug my laptop in. Went to plug it in. Guess what? See this little guy right here? Look. See the tip of that thing? That is not supposed to be there. Turned out I had to use my MacGyver skills. Somebody returned this with aluminum foil, which we all know, wrapped around a fuse. Sometimes fuse was blown. Sometimes that aluminum foil will act like a fuse and make the circuit. However, the little pointy thingy, dingy, wingy, whatever you call it thingy, was missing the spring. So it had nothing here. It wasn't touching. So I sat in my rental truck, and all I had was my laptop, and I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. So I tried. So finally took a ballpoint pen, ripped off the little, let's see if I can pull it out. Ripped off this little thing, that little thing, metal, jammed it in there. Guess what? It worked. So ballpoint pen worked. That was my Storm Chaser MacGyver trick to get my inverter to work. But anyway, that's where I was at. Now, fast forward to yesterday. Look at this. All right, so yesterday, this is the Storm Prediction Center map for yesterday. This is no disrespect to anybody as far as the forecast. As you know, if you watch me, we always talk about our level 1 enhanced or marginal risk, which is dark green. So yesterday, there was a tornado 2% area over Maryland yesterday. Not what you normally see. You normally see brown, and then it goes up from there, 2%. So, normally you would look at this and say, look, we got some scattered green ones around, But you know what? They had tornadoes. A lot of tornadoes in Maryland. So far, there's been 10, 12, 15 reports of tornadoes yesterday in these little red dots. We even had 2 tornadoes in Michigan. Now look, kind of in the green also. So, it's not very often, but I've seen level 1 in Florida produce a EF3. Very rare, but that's why you never let your guards down in the weather. Whenever there's a developing line of storms, you just never know, So it's very important. The first thing I do in the mornings is wake up and look at these Storm Prediction Center outlooks and just kind of get a feeling of where the storms are going to be that day and then go from there, But yeah, tremendous videos are coming in from these tornadoes yesterday in Maryland. Like came out of nowhere. Totally came out of nowhere. Talking to some gentlemen yesterday that were linemen in Pennsylvania, and they were talking about the storms in Pennsylvania. Met a couple cool dudes from Maine, and we were talking about weather yesterday. I was there yesterday talking about weather in Maine this whole last season and how Maine last year had more warnings and watches from the tropics in Florida. But they had tremendous storms in Maine last year. So, we try to cover everything. But this was fascinating to me, these tornadoes yesterday, how they just popped up in a very low prediction that we normally see. Again, weather could be sneaky. Here's current radar. We'll see what's going on. Mark Hall, never heard of that. I'll check it out. Yeah, Johnny, that's why I said Maryland and surrounding areas. I didn't mean to just pick out Maryland, but all that little area. No, Sean, I just mentioned the new ABC on my opening. I am going to check it out, man. I'm glad you mentioned that, Sean. Yeah, right before you probably logged in, I mentioned we might be heading over there to check it out. We're going to do a special with them, some sort of a meet and greet with that new store. But yeah, new concept, the whiskey barrels, the sampling, the whole new vibe is just unbelievable. This is current radar, by the way. Good morning, Eric. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Got home safe? Yes. God, that was crazy. Puppy paws. It does look like puppy paws. Hey, one more thing before I forget. I got to tell you this. Then swear we'll go right into weather. I promise. There's not a lot cooking, so don't worry. We're not missing anything. But so I guess I'm naive when it comes to understanding flights and connecting flights. So when I was pulling into Atlanta last night at like 9:50, right? My app goes off that the next flight is now boarding to Tampa. And I must admit, I got a little panic in me because the plane stopped and we had a plane in our runway or whatever they call that thing. So we had to wait for that plane to back up before we could pull in. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Then it was 10 o'clock. And then I went on the map, and it said it was a 17-minute walk. And then it's like 10:10. Oh, my God. I had to get on the tram, the little train, plane thing, whatever they called them, subway thing. And I don't know. I even ran. I mean, I ran up the escalator. I had 2 bags. I thought I was going to pass out. I mean, God, it was awful, man. The stress, running. And then I get up to the A. It was A5, and I'm like, God, it's got to be close. I'm going to make it. A5 was the one on the very end of the freaking terminal. So I had another half mile to walk or run. So I'm walking up, or running up. I can't run. I'm not. I mean, at least I know my ticker's in good shape because it was bad. So I don't know if you've seen movies. There's one dude sitting in the counter, and there's nobody in the damn that wing of the terminal. And I'm like, this isn't good. The door's open. He's like, you're okay. He's laughing at me. He said, you got 44 seconds to spare, man. I'm like, what? Like, I'm thinking, if I didn't run up that escalator, I'm like, oh, it was very stressful. Never again. That was awful. I'm sure somebody else has been there. My flip-flops, Jason, I did change into them, actually. But, God, I was gasping, and I was like, anyway, all right, radar, let's talk about weather. Enough rambling on. I know everybody's like, who the hell is this guy? All right, there's the radar. Here's your storm map for today. I didn't mean to put that post out and then show you this. So Florida, I just posted, not in any tornado color, but I am going to show you what's coming up after we talk about tropics. But this is the storm map today, so if you're in these areas, pay attention. Obviously, we got storms brewing. South Florida, we're going to get into it, but they said we'd have an inch to inch and a half hail today in South Florida. We've got some cool air aloft, and that'll allow thunderstorms to produce some hail. So sea breeze collision later this afternoon. So definitely looking for some strong winds and storms in the east coast of Florida today. There's your tornado outlook. So as we saw yesterday with Maryland area, there was a 2%. At least, right now there's not any. So let's I always look at the two together. You look at the SPC, then you look at the tornado outlook. And this is showing not much. So tropics. All right, so there's our map. All right, so we're going to get right into tropics. Tropics map is above my head. This is your outlook for the next 7 days. That area down in the Central America that's we're watching, I'm going to go into in great detail here in a little bit, but confidence is still extremely low. We got a front coming down over the weekend. It's going to be pulling up a lot of moisture. The moisture maps are all over the place, but the common theme is we got some heavy rain coming to the Florida Peninsula next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Development, just all over the place. So that's that. There's nothing solid enough to really hype yet. So, frontal line sloppy systems have a lot of wind shear. So it's really tough for anything to get going when we have a lot of wind shear early season. So, but we'll get into all the possibilities. But as far as officially, no. One thing the NAC is doing this year, they're tricking me. You used to always come out at 8 a.m., maybe like 7:45 to 8 a.m. Now they're coming out early, like 7:17. You just never know when you're going to get it. All right, there's your tropics map. Nothing really cooking. There's got a bunch of tropical waves. Did see a headline this week I was a little bothered by from a news agency. So this was the headline. National Hurricane. No, first it said alert. Alert. Now that's clickbait. Alert. National Hurricane Center closely monitoring 5 tropical waves in the Atlantic. Alert. Closely monitoring 5 tropical waves. That is a little deceiving. Okay? Tropical waves happen. We have them all the time. They're just areas. They're like little frontal lines that come off of Africa. They're part of nature. They happen all year. You don't need to closely monitor them. They're not going to turn into hurricanes. Sometimes they do, but was bad. Anyway, all right, there's the current map. Here is kind of interesting. There's your current 3 tropical waves. So that's normal. All right. The one I want to show you real interesting was this guy. I know it's like, what the heck is that? I can't see nothing. But look at this tropical wave here. This little guy came all the way from Africa. I believe that might have been our first wave a few weeks ago. And it's still going on. That's the intertropics convergence zone, they call it. It's kind of like the equator almost, you know, it just rides along. When tropical waves get a little stronger, they get a little lift, then they can start spinning and maybe get pulled up and become something. But they just naturally go west. But I thought that was interesting. That tropical wave is all the way over there in the Pacific. Timing map. I didn't have this one open, but I like to share it. This is from FSU. I've seen some prettier ones, but this is more from FSU. So, but this just gives you an idea. Anytime we get anything to talk about coming off of Africa, there. Look at the blue there. So painfully, if we were to get a system that had a little spin off Africa, which we more than likely will this year, it'll take 12 to 14 days to make it to the continental USA, if it were to. So that's 12 to 14 days of painfully watching every update. Oh, almost 2 weeks from here to there, wherever, if it's going to go there. That's a big if. You subtract the 2, 6 to 8. So to get to the islands, it's about 7 days. So, you know, long ways away. A week to here, 2 weeks to here. Those I call them like soap opera storms because you watch them every day. It becomes your afternoon soap opera. Very numbing to watch a long track hurricane. 14 days. Like if you chase or track or chase tornadoes, you might have 14 minutes of watching a supercell develop and turn into a tornado. 14 minutes. When you hurricane track, you have 14 days of watching African wave come across. ITCZ. Anyway, hey, tomorrow, Shelly, let's do the announcement tomorrow on our new chat. I forgot all about it. I'll make a big deal about it tomorrow. That'll give us a whole weekend to start organizing new brew crew. Hey, Jonathan Hernandez, you the man. Cheers. Kenny from Jupiter. Oh, I didn't know, Brian, I didn't know Braden, Kentucky was slang for Bradenton. That's my hometown. Did you know? My stories. Yeah, so the stories. Did I talk about that before? I was in Atlanta, Julie. Yeah, I am a rookie flyer, but that was the worst experience of my life, I will tell you. I was so scared I was not going to make it home. I was like, man, I do not want to sleep in an airport. I wanted to go home. So there you go. But I need some name ideas. I'm going to go ahead and mention it. I'm going to start doing a little story segment. I don't know what to call it yet, but I'm going to start doing a little daily 1-minute video. Funny stories. I don't want to say tidbits because that's tropical tidbits. But I got a million stories to tell about storm chasing, meeting folks, funny stories. I think it'd be kind of fun. Mainly for me, so I can think back at memories. All right, so everybody's been buzzing about this whole Central American gyre. I've been talking about it a lot too. We got an MJO phase coming into play for early June. We got Tropics official graphics here from the NOAA maps here showing just 2 areas. So they're basically highlighting this whole Central America area for the week of June 12th to 18th and the week of June 19th to 25th. So they're saying the same. You know, they're saying there's a lot of moisture. There's that moisture pumping up into Florida next week. Could have the same setup the following week. So basically this map is just saying the conditions are there. Whether or not anything happens or not, we'll have to see. But it is highlighted for the Atlantic and the Pacific. Mainly these waves come across. We have a frontal line coming down. Anytime you get a frontal line coming down, you get the tail end of that front, lowering pressures. Anytime you get lowering pressures, you get rain, you get a MJO phase coming in, which helps enhance thunderstorms. All this can help, try to pump something up. But we have a lot of wind shear. And, me included, there's a lot of hype about water temps. But, man, that is just one piece of the puzzle. You put a puzzle out on the table, and you got 10, 15 items maybe, or, weather conditions that have to line up sometimes. The water temperature is just one of them. So even though we got the potential and the water temperature is hot, this time of year we still have a lot of wind shear and stuff. But the GFS is very, very disappointing. We tracked it earlier in the season with the Pacific. I think it's 0 for 4 now on storms. If we don't get a storm out of this one next week, the GFS is going to be 0 for 5. Euro is looking like king again. But anyway, latest, let's talk about it. Tropical tidbits. So this is show you kind of what the latest runs are. And, I know everybody shares that one GFS run. You get 1 million clicks on it, and then the next run comes out, it's not there, and nobody shares it. But this is basically what the Euro's been showing all along. This is next week. Just low pressure. Low pressure doesn't mean anything other than low pressure. Rains. But the GFS is backed off on anything through the week next week. Kind of lingers it into the weekend, but no really sign of any organization. We still have that broad low, though, down across Central America. Now you can see we're getting a little spin-off here midweek next week. That's kind of what happens. You get one here. Sometimes it crosses over. Sometimes you get one here. You just got this big old broad low pressure area, and that's kind of it. I mean, it's just kind of bringing some north, bringing some, west, some crossover, but nothing organized. But we do have rains. So let's get into that here in a second. Let's go to the Euro. These are on Tropical Tidbits, of course. Here's the weekend. And then the Euro, just nothing. Hasn't shown anything. Still not showing anything. So, I just... A couple people asked me yesterday in Oklahoma, what's up with that first tropical system? You got a little weak vorticity down here in the Pacific next week. It's kind of crossing over. That's been a common theme, getting pulled up a little bit, but that's that front picking it up and sucking it across the, there's a very, really broad area. So, nothing. I will show you the experimental. Euro's got a new model this year. It's an AI model. Everything's AI this year. You won't even need me anymore. AI is the new thing. Everything's AI. All right, Canadian now. Canadian's interesting, I will admit. Canadians kind of put together all the thinking here. This is next week. Pulls up a little low. This is Tuesday. Very weak system coming across Florida. Then it might develop it on the Atlantic coast side. So, again, it kind of crosses over the weekend. You can kind of see that. So the Canadian's just showing you basically heavy rain. Our buddy Icon, which we love, I love, it's kind of showing you the same thing. A weak system, frontal line, little wave maybe. You can kind of see the wave over here. It's just a combination of all kinds of junk. Maybe a weak low, midweek. This is Wednesday, coming off the coast there. So, so I'm sticking to the fact that I don't think we're going to see anything next week. So we'll see. Here's that AI model, though. Let me show you this one. So the Euro AI goes out 360 hours, which is really neat. But it was showing something yesterday popping up a lot. So I do want to point that out. So that tropics map that we keep showing, that the experimental map that shows this week, next week, and the following week or whatever, the Euro AI model here is definitely showing something the following week. Now, man, anything past 10 days anymore, there was a time when I used to believe in 10-day maps. Thank you, Kim, for the stars that just popped up. There was a time the 10-day maps actually were halfway consistent, but lately, the last few years, no. But we'll see how the Euro does. The Euro has been showing something trying to come up So that's just noting that. Okay. Brew tails. Oh, there you go. Oh, rewind. I kind of like that. Rewind and rewind. Well, rewind's kind of neat. Let's look at the last several runs with AI on this ECI. So here's yesterday's 18Z on the experimental European model. So the reason I'm showing this, it's kind of a new model. I think it came out later last year, if I remember right. Levi put it on his site. So we're just kind of learning together, how reliable it's going to be. But it's kind of caught my eye a little bit as far as long range. This is a week from Tuesday, long way away. Like, I don't know, but it's worth pointing out. So that's a long way away. Don't share it. Don't say Mike's dad. Don't say Mike's showing 20-day models. Or that's actually 15-day models. But still interesting. That was yesterday's 18Z. Here's yesterday's 12Z. So you get the idea. It's been really consistent about something popping the last 4 runs. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, so let's look at some other things. Let's look at ensembles here, and then we'll stop talking about next week. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Here's the spaghettis. Down the road. Oh, my God. See, geez. Wow. All right. So the AI model is definitely picking up some stuff. All right, so here's the Gulf of Mexico. Let's just basically show you the tropical Atlantic. Well, I don't like that one at all. Let's look at Gulf of Mexico. So basically, let's say the next 5 days, you get a lot of low pressures here coming across Central America. You got some down here. You got a couple trying to lift up. Nothing organized. One or two. This has been a common theme through next week. 1 or 2 out of 51. So again, probability next week is not looking very good. But, which I'm surprised I didn't look at long range yet. That AI model is now into the main operational Euro model, starting to show some of that. So maybe something to definitely keep in the back of your mind for something pulling up middle June. Interesting. Not going to post it yet. Let's look at probability maps. I like the color blend version better. Brian, are you watching? That might be yours, Texas storm, buddy. What's up, Morgan? You overslept. I kind of did too. 8 o'clock's late for me. Here's your tropical storm. So here you go. That's interesting. So let's all wait till 2 o'clock and see the afternoon Euro run. Yeah, I kind of caught the tail end of the rocket launch, but I believe the SpaceX did a successful launch this morning. Steven, hey, I'll take a look at that for you in a little bit. I think the only thing you might have to worry about next week, Steven, is this low that could be coming up through Florida. Could bring a little wacky weather midweek, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. So let's look at that for you here in a second. Weather Geek, yeah, the GFS does have a bias. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on tomorrow. Is this area coming up? I didn't share the AI yesterday to anyone, but I was reading about it, and today I'm surprised that overnight it's still showing something pulling up in a long way away. So that's kind of interesting. All right, let's look at the GFS ensembles because they're not too bad. It's an operational run. It's never the best. Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to go see Mom here in a little bit. My brother. They're all kind of having rough stuff going on right now, so I'm going to go hang out with them. All right, so this is your GFS next week. Come here, Hunter. Come over here. Come here. And it's still kind of the 14th, so it's still showing up a couple of its members coming up. But then obviously you go into 15 days, there's all kinds of crap going on. So it's interesting. that could be, we got our front coming down this week. There's your front. This is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Surface charts are always fascinating to me, but here's next Thursday and Wednesday and Tuesday. So here's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Old frontal lines linger, pulling up that tropical juice. They linger long enough, guess what? We get a seed planted. Basically, it's planting a seed. So if the Euro EI AI is right, we could have a seed planted down here that could eventually try to spin up. Because frontal lines eventually lose all that upper level wind shear and things start to stabilize as high pressure kind of builds back in. So that's interesting. Frontal line coming in. All right, let's look at some of these rainfall totals. I shared this earlier. I got some more graphics here. Let's see. This is back to hurricanes, by the way. I do want to point this up. There was a new European forecast that was released yesterday. This is tropical activity through December. But still, the European model, very active. Pointing out, though, 2022, it was also very active with numbers, and it ended up having an average season. But that was third year La Nina. There's a lot of unknowns. But anyway, just pointing this out. Yesterday's Euro released a new outlook. And still calling for 21 storms and calling for 11 hurricanes. Average is around 7. So the European still believes the Atlantic is going to be very active. Pacific is going to be very inactive. Just wanted to show that. Rainfall. All right, so let's get into this real quick. So whatever's coming next week is going to be this. Now, you're looking at this. What is it? These are tropical tidbits model blends. I like these 4 little columns. I think they look good. You got the icon on the top left. You got the GFS top right. You got the CMC bottom left. And you got the Euro on the bottom right. Purple is around 2 inches. Brighter purple is around 5 inches. Yellow is about 8 to 9 to 10 inches. So Canadian showing that low across the middle of the state. We saw that with the Euro. Now the Euro's backed off. The Euro is the least aggressive now with rain totals. Yesterday, Euro was showing 9 inches for Tampa Bay. So you're kind of in this swing zone. But the important thing, the messaging I want to make on this is for next week, is Florida Peninsula's got rain coming. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All this tropical moisture is going to get pulled up. We have a frontal line stalling out. Moisture is going to start pulling up from the Central American area down there in the Caribbean. Somebody's going to get a lot. And who knows who. But the models have been a little bit all over the place. But the common theme has been the Florida Peninsula is going to get a lot of rain. Somebody is going to get a lot of rain. Some of the models showed South Florida getting double-digit rains. It's just too early to tell. The official NOAA map here that came out yesterday, though, did show heavy rain 6/11, 6/12. So if you want official information, yes, the Florida Peninsula, heavy rain. Heavy heat index is out of this world. Triple digits for everybody in the south here. They're getting record heat out west. Very, 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 very hot there for that. So super dry. I was shocked. We were gone a week, and we have a little pond in our backyard, and I've never seen the pond drop like it did last week. Like, it went down at least a foot. When I came home, I was like, what? That heat, man, this evaporation. Once it gets hot, man, that water starts evaporating. Hey, let's check in on water temps here and some other things. And I told the fishermen there, let's talk about next week real quick. Probably, what do I want to see tomorrow? Oh, God, what would be the best thing to look at for next week? Carolina question for next week. Guess we could do winds and kind of give you the idea. Well, I don't know why this thing doesn't pop up anymore. Wind gusts. I like wind gusts. There's no wind gusts. All right. Oh, next week. So basically, here is that week low pulling out of here Tuesday. But you got a high pressure coming in quick, so might not be that bad. So I don't know. The East Coast might not be that bad. I wouldn't stress about it yet. Here's this. This is a thunderstorm map. For next week on the Euro. So basically, here's your frontal line over the weekend. So bottom line, let's go over the weekend real quick. Here's that front coming in to play on Sunday. This is thunderstorms. It kind of gives you the idea, the picture here, what it's going to look like. Here's a frontal line on Monday early morning. And basically Monday, you can just start to see all kinds of stuff happening. There's your frontal line starting to pull up. These are thunderstorms. This isn't rain and storms. These are thunderstorms. Tuesday, could see some storms Tuesday. Could see storms on Wednesday. This is still Tuesday, but here's Wednesday. These are thunderstorms. These aren't rain, but you can get the idea. And then a lot of storms, possibly Thursday too. So, man, this thing's going to be interesting. What kind of now? It's just going to be rainy, stormy across Florida for several days. Wildfire season. Hey, Stephanie Stokes. Hey, finally got to meet ya. Was that concert not awesome or what? We were up there hanging with Morgan Wallen. Yeah, did they land at Shelley? I didn't even get to see that. Did they land the big ship? I want to bring up my Spire weather, but I'm going to do that tomorrow too. I got another map, and we're going to start looking at together. I got the Spire high-res 6-day map we can start looking at. Let's just look at the weekend real quick. Get my bearings back in place here. Just kind of show you what's cooking for the weekend. Kind of starting to. Today's Thursday, so we're not really getting too much into the weekend, but we might sneak in there and get a couple days. Here's a little bit of line. There's your storms today. This is later this afternoon, so we're getting these big storms down in the Florida East Coast. Possible hail today, 1 inch plus, they're saying, for East Coast of Florida. Sea breeze collides, winds, thunderstorms go up. It's cold up there, and we get hail. A little bit of storms here again, crossing down through. No tornadoes showing up on the SPC map yet, but always stay alert. That was such a weird day yesterday, seeing those tornadoes. And the Keys, look like the rains are going to linger into tomorrow morning down in the Keys. And South Florida rains tomorrow down there. This is Friday. Things Saturday, we really only ended Saturday right there. So there's that. Saturday weekend forecast. Look at some fall totals for the weekend. We do have a front coming down, so that's going to start showing up here on the rain maps. Here's today's rains. Here's tomorrow's rains. So today's rains, obviously, there's a little bit of line coming through upper Gulf, extending down all the way to the northeast. It's a leftover low up here. You can see the pattern here, the spinner. A little bit of storms popping out ahead of it today. Here's rains tomorrow, Friday. A little bit down in South Florida remains. Saturday, a little less here. So Saturday looks pretty good. Look at that. Most everybody in the East Coast and down through the South, very little rain on Saturday, very little rain on Sunday. There's our frontal line coming down. So here's that frontal line on Sunday. This is the one that's going to linger down through the state and pull up a lot of tropical juice. Here's Sunday rains. There's Monday. And then Tuesday, oh my goodness, and then Wednesday. There you got it. Woo, got a little dizzy there. Tuesday, Wednesday. There's Wednesday. That's the theme. We know it's coming. We predict the weather. So, Stephanie, did you stick around for Morgan Wall? What's up, Odell Delgado? Jason Triplett, what's up? What's up, Miss Bobby? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow and then all next week. Bobby, are you in our new Brew Crew chat yet? Bobby, are you in our new Brew Crew chat yet? You should be. I value your post. So that's it. So tropics aren't looking very active. Very curious about the following week. Very curious. Wind shear slowing down a lot for that. So that's kind of what you look for. Upper level winds becoming a little more favorable. And well, my jet stream winds aren't popping. What am I doing wrong here? Tropical Atlantic, maybe Western Atlantic. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong map. Gotta go Euro. All right, so let's look at the jet stream. Okay, let's see here. All right, so here's your jet stream coming down next week. Upper level winds, a little high pressure in place here. There's pretty decent jet stream winds through the week. So this is kind of the reason I don't think we're going to see much at all. There's strong winds on the GFS. There's your upper level winds. Tuesday showing you a lot of wind shear. A lot of wind shear. Now the question is what happens next week, and there you kind of getting a little anti-cyclone, they call it, which is kind of a little more favorable conditions if this thing can park up underneath it. There it is right here a week from Wednesday. So that's the GFS. The Euro doesn't really go out that far yet. So I wonder if the AI does. Yeah, it does. So yeah, I mean, upper level winds starting to look a little more favorable of conditions the following week. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. But if we were to get something the following week, a little more favorable conditions. So that's going to be kind of what we watch tomorrow. So that'll give us something to talk about tomorrow. Water temps I want to see before I forget. How hot has Clearwater got since I've been gone a couple days? Let's take a looky. Have we well, hasn't rained, so it should. Let's see where we at. Water temp. It's hanging on around 88, so that's good. Didn't get too much hotter. It's getting hot in here. All right. That's about it on my end. We can ramble on enough. Anyway. Yeah, Bobby, I thought you were our $4.99 Brew Crew member. Anyway. Oh, you gave your bands. How did you get your bands, by the way? You must know somebody. Anyway. So we'll be live tomorrow. I'm excited to be back kind of on routine stuff here. Like I said, I'm going to share some pictures from OSR. I was there yesterday in Oklahoma. Tammy Kent and crew. We talked a lot about the season ahead. Let's do a shout out here. Do a shout out a day here. Let's do a shout out to my buddy Paul and everybody from U.S. Flood Control. So they are very tight with the state of Florida. And when we had Nicole and Ian, they put up those temporary seawalls over there on the other coast. Been finding out a lot of businesses like Walmart and others and fire stations and police stations buy their product, and it basically builds a barrier around your building and protects it. Well, they also have a home kit, which a lot of people have bought, and there's a little video with me and Paul, and it's fascinating to me. So I put one together. You can see the video. It's got music, so I don't think I can play it. I don't want to get copyrighted. But it's basically water, and when you're done, you put it in a little bag, and you use it next time. So it's a sandbag alternative. Very fascinating. So if you have a door, sandbags and things like this are not designed to protect your whole home, but they are designed to protect garages, doors. We have a door that leads out to the back pool. Our pool drains pretty good, but if that pool can't drain fast enough, then the rain's falling, then the water's going to creep back up into the door well, and that's when you get it. Or wind-driven rains are a big problem with storms. And I've learned with Ian, you can have what looks like storm surge in your front driveway or road, because if you get several inches of rain and you have 100-mile-an-hour winds, guess what? That water gets blown into your garages and your doors, and you need some sort of a barrier in case that happens. So this is just an alternative that a lot of folks use, and I like it. So, you know, sandbags are a pain in the butt. What do you do with them when you're done with them? Our neighborhoods, everywhere you look in our neighborhoods, we got sandbags. We got them all over the place. And after 6 months, you pick one up, guess what? It's all sun-dried and leaking. So anyway, shout out of the day. All right, we'll be live tomorrow, everybody. Hope you have a great day. I am going to... There you go, Shelly. Yep, I'll try to get you hooked up with one. Hey, we got a Cat 3 supporter over there, Matt. Appreciate that, buddy. Wilmington, severe weather today. Yeah, let's talk about that tabletop. Because what happened yesterday, I felt a little bad that I didn't talk about the weather yesterday like I should have. Let's talk about the severe weather today. So they are showing a line of storms. Let's go high res. God, I wish I had my Spire model up. Tomorrow we'll debut the brand new model that we got with James Van Fleet. But as far as severe weather today, I think it's just a line of thunderstorms. I don't think we're going to see what we saw yesterday. This is more of a frontal line that's kind of coming through. So I don't think we're going to see anything other than straight line winds. You know, some isolated, there's your isolated thunderstorms today. Fast moving. So, you know, there's no tornado percentages on the SPC map, but you know, this afternoon, you know, evening, we're going to see thunderstorms. I don't know how severe they're going to be, but you know, just nothing's looking very organized. It's just normal afternoon thunderstorms, and that's all you can really say. Kind of normal, fast-moving afternoon thunderstorms. Storm Prediction Center talks about that too. Just isolated wind damage. I mean, hail. No, they're talking about hail in South Florida. We have more colder air in place, so they're definitely talking about hail. Click on these 4 markers up here. Here's tornado markers, not showing anything. Wind, obviously, and then, of course, hail. Hail down in Florida. So that's your hail marker. Hail! Hail. No. Hell no. Hell no. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, listen, we will be seeing you tomorrow. A million people ask me about my shirts all the time. I guess I need to start talking about that more, but we got 2 links up there. You can get the original one that started it all. We actually ship these from our house, so you get them fast. The main spring store has a bazillion styles and colors. We can't do that, but if you want something fast, store number 1 here is what we sell from the house here, and you can get these shipped almost the same day. And it's 1 color, but that's my favorite color, dark gray. Father's Day is coming. What a perfect gift. Shipping's included in that price, along with a sticker. But people always ask me, where do I get a shirt? Where do I get a shirt? Right there. Store number 1. Door number 1. Remember the old love what the hell is that? What was the game? The dating game where they had like the hidden door number 1, door number 2. Oh, Stephanie, I would have. Oh, by the way, did you email Phil? Stephanie, email Phil. I told you I'd mail you the new Hurricane Hair shirt. Stephanie bought a shirt I don't even sell anymore called the Heart of the Season. I wish I could find that design. I can't even find the design anymore. Lisa Parks, hey, thank you for that. Yeah, I was in a newspaper article here. I guess it went all over the Southeast. Everybody posted it. So that one was in Gulfport. I was in the newspaper in Gulfport. That's amazing. That's awesome. Well, thanks for reading it. So, you got a weather radio last month. Never saw an email confirmation. Uh-oh. That's not good. Stephanie, did you not get it? Please email me. That's weird. That's not good. I'll check. We make mistakes. We're human. But, yeah, always reach out. for sure. I'll have Julie check it. Should get emails, but I'll look into it, and if not, we'll get it out today. So anyway, all right. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow, 9:19 Eastern. All right. Have a great Thursday. We're going to be live on Brew Crew here for a while. All right. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll go see Mom now.